hey, if you're not booking, stop stressing. Like, never look to someone else's bowl for what they're eating, how they're eating, what they're doing. Always focus on your own bowl, because if you look at someone else's bowl, who knows, somebody could take your food. What is up, you guys? It's Samara and I am back with another video. And today specifically, I want to talk about rejection. I feel like rejection and art truly go hand in hand. If you're watching this video and you are a creative, I just want to remind you that your very first job as a creative is not to sell something. It's not even necessarily to be the best at something. Your job is just to create. For me as an actor, when I first started doing self-tape auditions, I really had to sit with that. I learned that a lot of this industry is literally rejection. I would say 80% of the industry is rejection. For me, so much of my industry as an actor is heavily saturated. You are going through thousands and thousands of auditions, and I know that what's for me is gonna be for me at the end of the day. In this video, I'm gonna break down some practical steps to help you get over your fear of rejection, move through rejection, and really focus on your craft instead of the outcome. And I promise this is not just motivational fluff. Like, this is practical knowledge that you can take with you in your industry, in your craft. And what I'm saying goes for any creative endeavor, for anyone who's watching. Just because you're not getting that end result doesn't mean that you're not that bitch. So let's talk about why. Let's start with a reality check, okay? Hear me when I say this. Not everybody who's booking is that great. And some people don't even book for years until they get their big break. I personally did not book my first year of doing self-tapes. Not only did I not book my first year, but I got dropped by my rep because I didn't book anything. But guess what? By that second year, I booked my first commercial. By that third year, I booked 5 commercials. And now I just booked my first feature film. So yeah, it's been 4 years, but like, why does that even matter? It's not about the end result, it's about the craft. But you have to remember that everybody's timeline is different. And if your friend over there is booking, just remember that that just means that God is in your neighborhood. Never be jealous, never be envious of what someone else is doing. In Buddhist culture, they talk about how you should always pay attention to your own bowl. Never look to someone else's bowl for what they're eating, how they're eating, what they're doing. Always focus on your own bowl, because if you look at someone else's bowl, who knows, somebody could take your food. I'm just saying. Like, I'm telling you right now, your booking frequency is not a measure of your talent. There's so many talented people out here who are not booking. Where's my series regular? And let's be real, some of these actors get lucky with the right booking at the right time because they have the right look. And others train for years and then finally blow up in their 40s. That's great. But comparing yourself to someone else's highlights of their life is literally pointless. What you need to be doing is tracking your own progress instead of looking at others. Be honest with yourself about the amount of effort that you're putting in and what you're getting out of it. Maybe not even necessarily about the effort you're putting in, but about your readiness too. Are you truly ready to be where you want to be or where you think you should be? Like I said, when I moved out here, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm ready to be a series regular. Didn't know what that even entailed, but just thought that I could be a series regular because I had a BFA and because I'm talented. Like, it doesn't work like that, and you need to work your way up into being able to be in certain rooms and being undeniable. That's what I'm looking for now, is undeniability. And that looks like asking yourself the tough questions before you even step into a space. Are you emotionally available? Do you even have the personal stability to handle success? Meaning your mental health. Is it even in order for you to be able to function at a high level? I've done a video before talking about how you have to have a capacity to be able to show up in the way that you want to show up. So really asking yourself, am I mentally ready for this? Sometimes your delays are really preparing you for a bigger stage. So you got to stay ready. Oh, and don't even get me started on career readiness. Baby, do you even have a headshot? Do you have a resume? Do you have a voice reel? Do you have a background? Do you need a background? Do you have sound equipment, like a wig? I don't know. People overlook these things. They really do. A lot of people are not even prepared and they think that they deserve this thing, but you haven't put in the effort yet. Maybe you don't even know what that looks like. For actors, keeping track of all of your auditions. I have an audition log where I keep track of all of my auditions, everything that I have not booked, everything that I have booked, all of my callbacks, everything I've been pinned for. Who was the casting director? Who was the director of the project? Like, keep track of your own progress. Focus on you. And you should be keeping track of what you're learning in these auditions. For example, and this is something I think a lot of us creatives overlook. Was I dropped in? Was I present? Was I in my body? Did I warm up? Was my slate clean? Did I do my beat work? Was I being vulnerable? When I first moved to LA, I was so excited. I thought, oh, I'm gonna book a series regular like that. I went to school for theater, like I know what I'm doing, yada, yada, yada. I have the connections, like that. And I didn't book my first year. And I'm like, oh my God, wait. Do I suck? I was so confused and it really shot my confidence down. But instead of ruminating on that and letting that be the thing, I went to class. I learned how to build my confidence. I went to therapy. And if you are not in therapy or haven't even cared about therapy or thought about therapy as an actor, I would challenge you to question that. I honestly, because if you don't know yourself on the deepest level, then how can you strip yourself bare to become someone else? Or how can you apply the experiences of your own life to this other character, right? But I don't think therapy is necessary for everyone. I'm not saying that. I think it can be beneficial to everyone, especially a creative. I worked on myself and I let go of my attachment to booking. And what happened after that? I started booking. Slowly but surely, my auditions started feeling very different. It brought me into a space where I just wanted to share. I started getting callbacks and then I booked my first feature. Looking back, those not booking years were actually some of the best training that I could have had. Fall in love with the process. Your job isn't to book the thing. Your job is to audition. Your job is to paint. Your job is to dance. Your job is to sing. It's what you love to do. And you should be enjoying that process. The booking is a bonus, honey. And I truly feel like because I was able to get to a point where I fell in love with my process, I think that is gonna create longevity for me in this industry. And that goes for anybody. It's really the art of detachment. I truly believe that. I let it go, released the attachment, that's when it started getting fun. Like, what you mean? Like, when you love your work, the waiting game just becomes so much easier. I'm not even thinking about booking anymore. My mom is so funny because she'll call me after an audition and she'll be like, so did you book it? Did you book it? And I'm like, girl, first of all, that's not even how that works. Second of all, I'm not here to care about me booking. And then that's the thing too, like when you get to a space when you find yourself constantly auditioning for things, you realize that like you really stop caring about booking. Like you more so start to worry about doing better in your next job and your job being the audition. Because getting better at your craft is the only thing you can control. You can't control booking. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I really struggle with making my craft my hobby. It can really start to feel like a job really easily. And I think that that is relatable to any creative. Like anything that is like something that originally started off as a hobby and then you were trying to pursue money, it really can feel daunting at times. But I'm trying my best to bring the love back for it by making it a hobby again. And so I actually got this book. Let me show you. Everybody and their mom has this book, but I've had this for years and I haven't even started reading it yet because I want to do a video with my authentic process in going through this book. It says it's a spiritual path to higher creativity. I got this book years ago when I felt like my auditioning was starting to feel like work and starting to feel like stress. And I was missing out on the love that I once felt for it. The love is back, but I just want to see what more this could do for me. So I will be making a video about The Artist Way very soon. And even on that note of making it fun, it's also important, I feel like, to have friends who are in your industry or in similar industries who enjoy the same things that you do. So for example, I have one actor friend who I love to death, and we have had days where we'll just meet up and act. Like we'll just bring some scenes, come over here and try to get it on tape. And that is so necessary to keep working that muscle and keep collaborating with people. And also in using other people's process, it can help with your process and vice versa. So yeah. This might sound a little shady, but another reason why you might not be booking is because your team sucks. Yes, your team, it sucks. Or maybe you don't have a team. I think a lot of us have been there where we are with managers or rep that isn't necessarily aligned with what we are trying to do. Your team should be helping you, not ghosting you. Your team should be advocating for you. Your team should be on your team. I would argue that your team should even be giving you feedback. They should be sending you opportunities. Even if your rep is telling you, oh, you're great, you're great, you're great all the time, and they can't give you any strategies or anything for growth, then maybe it's time to go. I've decided for myself that in this next quarter, I'm going to be making a team checklist. Honey, I'm checking for responsiveness. I'm checking for advocacy. I'm checking for awareness, realistic expectations, also respect, because I've definitely been disrespected by reps before, and that's not okay. Someone once told me that especially in LA and in this industry, it's all about confidence. This is a confidence game, and you're not gonna let your rep walk all over you just because they think they have some type of power. They don't. You have the power and they work for you. Another thing I think is super important is to always stay humble and remember that you are a student at the end of the day. You will forever be a student as long as you are working in this industry, right? So you're never gonna get to a point where you feel like you're just at the pinnacle and you just made it and you have nothing to learn. There's always something to learn in a creative industry because there's always more life to be lived, right? So be open and remain a student. And if that looks like taking classes, then that's what it looks like. And honestly, I don't think that everybody even needs to take classes, but for some of us, it really is helpful to exercise your mind and exercise your craft, right? Learning new techniques in acting, like, I do think that class can be a really valuable tool, and I don't think that it's something that should be overlooked, especially if you find yourself trapped in the cycle of worrying about rejection and worrying about making it in the industry. I think your focus should be about becoming better at your skill. Take classes that scare you. I know for me, what scares me is intimacy. Like even in my real life, like I'm just not a flirtatious girl. Like I do not flirt. Like I laugh, if anything, when I'm in that type of vibe, and I feel like I could definitely benefit from some intimacy acting classes just so I could become more comfortable and more grounded in that. Because what if I want to go out for a romantic film and it's like I'm just over here like can't even take myself seriously in the audition? Like that can't be a thing. So you want to get ahead of these things before you're sitting there being like, oh, like I'm not gonna book that, or why didn't I book that? It's like, do the work. Improv is such a good thing to work on. I feel like no matter what industry you are in creatively, please take improv classes. That is gonna help you to be so much sharper mentally. And I also feel like being an improver helps you to stay grounded too, because if you're grounded and you're present, then you will be able to be quick with it, right? Because you're here right now, you're not anywhere else. And that can just translate to so many mediums. Sit with your craft this week for even just 10 to 15 minutes a day, or maybe once a week. Just sit with your craft in a way that feels good. Maybe you can try some new daily micro habits, and a micro habit meaning 5 minutes of something. So for example, reading 5 minutes of a play, doing a cold read with yourself, find a new monologue and put yourself on tape and critique yourself. If you're a dancer, try a style you haven't tried before. Like there's so many things that you can do to stay connected to your craft without booking. Number one, film yourself doing whatever it is that you do 2 times a week. It can be a self-tape, a dance, maybe you can do a time lapse of you drawing. Number 2, take a class. Take a class, take a class. I don't care what kind of class it is, take a class or a workshop. I have a lot of online workshops these days that make it really accessible and a lot more affordable, so definitely would recommend that too. Number 3, try 1 hour of some body awareness work, whether that be something related to Alexander technique, meditation, body scan, just one form of body awareness for at least an hour. And lastly, find a mentor or a friend who is in your industry and have a talk with them. Ask them about how things are going for them. Ask them about what they're doing to move forward and to improve. And just don't forget the importance of staying connected to people in your craft. Like at the end of the day, those people are your community, right? You have this shared reality, I guess you could say. So don't forget about those people and see what they're up to and see what is influencing their art. You never know, you might have some similarities, you might be able to learn from them. I just wanna say to everyone out there who's watching, remember that you are building a life and you are building a career. And that is long game work that we signed up for. So don't be discouraged, keep going. Don't look at the person's bowl next to you. Keep your eyes on your bowl and just keep showing up. Before I go, I just want to share a quick anecdote that I got from one of my college professors that really just fully encompasses everything I've been saying in this video, and it's something that I will always keep with me on my journey in my creative pursuits. So it goes like this. Let's say you have a best friend and you love them to death, and all you want to do for them for their birthday is make them a cake. So you research all night, cake recipe, best cake recipe ever. And the cake recipe just so happens to be chocolate. You work so hard, you're making this cake, you're like, oh, they're gonna love this, it's the best cake recipe, so they're gonna love it. You present them with this cake and they're like, oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful cake, but I don't really like chocolate, but thank you. Does that mean that you didn't work so hard on the cake? Does that mean you ruined their birthday? Does that mean that you guys aren't friends? Does that mean that your cake isn't even good? No, it just means they don't like chocolate. Sometimes people just don't like chocolate, and that's okay. Some hate it. I don't like chocolate. Keep going out there, keep doing your best, keep showing up, and I promise you everything's gonna fall into place. That's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.